And for a player coming back in, sometimes that's an easy way to do it. With Kieran gives us great versatility off the bench as well, so he'll definitely feature at some point, hopefully. I think that's a good combination for the group. Charlie brings good physicality as well, plenty of experience as playing against French teams over the years. And yeah, no, look, we're lucky that we've got that quality there. Unfortunate for Robbie, obviously.
Does it make you nervous when the injuries mount at around the time of the season?
I'm more worried about what we do have than what we don't have. So, yeah, that is the nature of the season, isn't it? Like, it's such a long season. There's so many moving parts, and that's the amazing thing about this tournament, isn't it? So, you've got to navigate your way through the pool stages, which again, what we talked about in some of these press conferences, which is really about trying to organise yourself for the seedings. And we think back to even the start of this competition, we were heading away to Le Havre to play against Racing. We all thought we were going to be in La Défense Arena for that game, but the game was in Le Havre, and we very nearly didn't get to the game. Trains, planes, automobiles to get there. But the thing that gave us probably the most anxiety at the time was about us losing the seeding. So it's not about necessarily qualifying for the last 16. It was actually we wanted to be the top seeds. We want to make sure we do everything to be here at the Aviva, and now we're here, so which is great. And it's a real privilege, honour to be here at this point in the tournament. So everyone's excited now. Just there's going to be injuries along the way. There's going to be disruptions along the way. How you deal with that over the course of the season, that's the key. And there's plenty of experience in the group now that have had to deal with disruptions at different stages during the course of their career. And that's just another part of it, isn't it? So I think we've got a good 23 out there that will hopefully represent the group well. And it's the wider piece as well. So again, why did we have anxiety when we're travelling to Le Havre at the start of the season, trying to get everything we could from that game? Because we want to be here in front of friends and family and all the rest, because it's as I said, it's an amazing privilege to be here again. And we've had 2 games already in this tournament, well, 3 games in this tournament already here. And it's a massive clash, isn't it? So we've so much respect for Toulouse as a team, as a club, and we know they'll be disappointed off the back of last season in particular. So it should be a great battle.
What do you expect from Toulouse?
Big physical pack forwards that they have, so I think they'll be very direct when they have the ball. I think they'll be pretty direct, confrontational. They kick the ball a fair amount. I know, like, sort of Toulouse's reputation is sort of free-flowing, offloading rugby, but I think they'll be pretty pragmatic. I think particularly at the start of the game, and as the game starts to open up, then they start to move the ball around, and you see a lot of their points come late in games. So yeah, I think it'll be, they'll try to take us on physically, which is good, because that's what we want as well. Good physical challenge for our guys, and that's what you want to do. You want to test yourselves against the best teams that are out there. It's a brilliant challenge, isn't it? So they have plenty of quality. You can't switch off for a second. Some of the players that they have, sort of game-changing players, and that's all the things we talked about over the last week and even before that as well.
Leo, you mentioned after the Leicester game that you keep a copy of the 03 programme on your desk. Do you take it out and show it to the players today to remind them what could go wrong? Or
They don't know what you're talking about now. So.
Well, like that day,
James was barely born in 2003.
Parallels. What are your memories of what went wrong that day, and what does it give you cause for concern this time in a similar scenario with a home final?
Yeah, and it was the same 2013 as well. You think obviously 2013 we don't even qualify for the knockout stages. We were in the Amlin, as it was called back then, and we were playing the final up the road, so we weren't down here. Again, it was 2 French teams, so yeah, we know, like, at this stage, listen, I've been around, I've seen, like, we've had tough old days, so you take nothing for granted. So it goes back to preparation. And if I remember, like, some of the things that stand out for me that 2003 game was, we probably overtrained. We overtrained that week. So it's just trying to make sure that this week is sharp. There's good focus. And obviously a number of guys got to do some decent work last week as well. So, but Toulouse are pretty similar. Like, they rested up their group for Stade Francais game the weekend, and they're coming in with a pretty similar mindset. So it's on the day, isn't it? 2 good teams, and when it comes on the day, it's just okay. Well, there's wind the clock back in the start of your weeks. How do you prepare? Get yourself through that, the physical reps, but there's the mental part as well of that. And yeah, like as I said, the guys have prepared well, and should be fresh and looking forward to the game now, I think, but I'll leave that to the two lads to talk about.
Oh yeah, just one for James. You spoke about there about the physical pack, and one guy who stands out is obviously Emmanuel Meafu. He's in great form at the minute. Do you make a specific plan for a player like that, or is it just take on the pack as a whole?
No, probably not a specific plan. It's more just Toulouse pack as a whole. No, even Arnold, second row next to him, is a big physical player as well. So they have another number of guys there that are very strong in the contact area, whether it's in the maul or over the ball. Willis is another guy. We probably wouldn't pay too much attention to one player, but definitely respect him and are aware of his strengths.
Does it excite you personally to go against players like that on the biggest stage?
Yeah, well, it's European Cup semi-finals. They excite me definitely. I'll be able to play, as Leo said, in the Aviva in Dublin is very special for us. We can't wait. It's going to be 40 plus thousand. Not sure if it's quite a sellout. It probably would be if the EPCR lower some of the ticket prices a little bit. But no, the support we get is incredible. It's a huge point of difference for us. So we're going to need it tomorrow, and we can't wait.
There's a question coming in French, guys, so you may need to put the headsets on.
But I can speak in English. Leo, last 3 games against Toulouse, the Leinster won. 2 last games in semi-final. Do you have a magic formula to win against Toulouse?
I'm not sure that we have a magic formula now. Like, I can tell you about plenty of games we lost against Toulouse as well. And they're a great team, yeah. So amazing club. Since the tournament began, we were talking about that on Monday. When Toulouse won the first final against Cardiff, and the types of game that they played, and it was always based around strong forwards and very, very skillful backs. So there's lots of things that we would have tried to take from Toulouse over the years. So, we definitely don't have a formula, but they're definitely a club that we admire greatly.
You have a good part of the Irish team in your team. Toulouse have a good part of the French team in his team. Do you feel a little kind of revenge of the Six Nation game for the semi-final tomorrow?
Possibly, yeah. I was at that game as a supporter with my 8-year-old boy, and it was an amazing game to watch. So, same referee, Wayne Barnes, referees the game tomorrow. So, hopefully there's a similar type of spectacle, because I think that's what everyone wants to see is good teams going at each other at this stage of the season, because there's a hell of a lot of work that goes into getting to this point. So hopefully there's a good contest out there, I think there's no shortage of motivation, I think, from both teams.
Any more questions in the live element for Leo or James? Leo, are you expecting a different Toulouse team tomorrow? In terms of last season, Toulouse were in a very tough quarter final against Munster, and probably might have been a bit jaded. Do you think you're going to get a different type of Toulouse tomorrow?
I think they'll go hard around the physical part of the game. Even said like bringing in someone like Jack Willis. I think there's sort of with the breakdown in mind. You're always curious. Okay, when a club looks to bring in a player like that, what are they actually trying to sign? Because it's quite unusual circumstances of someone like him coming in. But definitely around that breakdown thread, as I said, he's someone that's going to change the dimension of their game slightly. So again, it's just something that we always need to be aware of in terms of what the opposition are trying to do to us. So, I just think it's on the day, isn't it? Last year, they played the 100 minutes, maybe to travel, and there definitely is a little bit of that. I've heard some of their comments this week about that. Maybe they got things wrong around some of the selections leading into that game or that sequence of games. For us, we'd been away in Leicester the previous week. After starting the game well, we were probably a bit dissatisfied the way we played in the second half in particular. So everyone was keen to put in a big performance, and it's important that there's just little subtleties and dynamic. But again, it's on the day, isn't it? So you need to be prepared to deal with whatever comes your way on any given day. So, but in terms of specifically Toulouse, yeah, like if you're looking like a Jack Willis, he's definitely someone that is like, oh, what have they tried to do there in terms of why are they trying to sign that type of player? So it's definitely around the breakdown. I think that's his strength, his game is as a defensive jackler.
Ask James a question. Most efficient line out in the competition this season. You talk a little bit about how that's developed this season, the areas that you can talk about that you've been working on that you're particularly pleased with.
Yeah, well, the backs always do a very good job in terms of our strike plays, and you know, our conversion rate when we get close to the line is always pretty good. So there's always a big onus in the forwards to make sure that we're as accurate as possible when it comes to the set piece and the line out, so we can give the lads a platform to launch. So yeah, it's been good. And obviously preparation is a big part of that. You know, there's a huge amount of preparation that goes in behind the scenes. You know, from Rob McBride and from some of the analysts. So it's important that we build an understanding of the opposition in terms of the way they defend and their set piece, and then we kind of build a plan off the back of that. So yeah, so I think the planning and the preparation has been good when it comes to our line out all season, and as I said, definitely the onus is on us to get that right, because when we do, you know, the backs can give us great access into the game.
In your mind, are you doing anything different this season at that set piece?
Not really, no. I wouldn't say anything in particular that stands out, no.
Leo, just actually, when you were asked about those three there, you referenced 2013. Can I ask you, are you a superstitious person?
No. Short answer.
About years ending in 3.
No, but it doesn't guarantee you anything, does it? That's the point. So you got to go do the work, isn't it? Got to be able to perform in the day. So, and that's what we've tried to focus on. You know, players and staff. Staff trying to do everything we can for the players to give themselves best chance. So, how we've managed them over, or how the staff have managed them over the course of the season. So I think the guys are in good shape now going into this game.
And is there much motivation there in terms of, I mean, you outlining motivation, that the opportunity that's there, or that it's just unspoken in terms of the final and Dublin?
Yeah, this is such a big game. Like, so we'll worry about what's after. It's just delivering your best. For the players' point of view, like, deliver their best. That's all they can do, and see where they sit at the end of it. So then we can make a plan from there.
Quick question for James, please. James, you actually weren't born when Toulouse won the first ever Heineken Cup. You were born 6 months later. Which is scary.
I was watching at my granddad's house.
How much? I presume you watched them as a kid. You would have been a keen rugby fan all through your childhood. How much are Toulouse like the ultimate standard bearers still in this competition, and how much of it is a motivation that they've got 5 stars in their crest and you've got 4?
Yeah, well, they are the most successful team in Europe. So there's a huge motivation there, and look, you have to respect what they've done over the last 25 years, or you know, they've there's definitely a legacy there attached to the club. So and even now at the moment, you know, they're one of the form teams in Europe, unbeaten in the Champions Cup, top of the top 14. So you know, they're playing some great rugby. So yeah, growing up, Leinster, Toulouse, they were always, you know, some big games between those two sides, and you know, growing up watching the Champions Cup, or the Heineken Cup as it was, Toulouse were always in the mix. You know what I mean? They were always thereabouts. So I think any kind of Leinster Toulouse game in the Aviva, it's always a pretty special day, because it's two teams that have done some great stuff in the past, and it's two teams that respect each other a lot. So as I said, we can't wait for it. Yeah.